Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Masterclass. Welcome to Unleash Your Potential, 4 steps to triple your income in 6 months or less and have people really see, feel, and hear your value. So before we start, who is this for? Who is this Masterclass for? So this is for any entrepreneur or small business owner who wants to 3x their business in the next 6 to 12 months. This is for self-employed people who want to grow their practice. This is for professionals who are tired of what they do and want to start a business. And this is also for anyone who really wants to start or grow their business as well. So in the next 35 minutes, I'm going to give you the step-by-step game plan my clients are using to take their business to 6 figures and way beyond. How they're doing this without a huge client base, fancy websites, huge marketing budgets, networking 8 hours a day, or begging for referrals, or any of that stuff people taught you that you need to do. How to be charismatic, how to be the influential business leader that you've always wanted to be. And of course, why spending so much time creating alliances for referrals, or spending years branding yourself, or spending all your time building an online following, or being too nice is the exact wrong strategy to follow. Plus a simple plan to generate thousands and thousands of dollars each month much, much, much quicker than you think. And how to do all this, and serve all your clients in much less time than you thought possible. And how to do all these while avoiding being too pushy, cheesy, and salesy, and being 100% completely authentic and sincere, and delivering amazing experiences for your clients so they refer you and give you incredible reviews and testimonials. Plus, how to avoid being too nice and just being likable just to get people to like you. It doesn't actually work. People do not do business with you this way. So again, how to serve all your clients in much less time, how to do all these without being pushy or cheesy or salesy, and again, being completely authentic to who you are and what you want. And again, not being too nice. So my promise to you today is a 4-step game plan to triple your income in 6 months or less and have people really see, feel, and hear your value so they line up to work with you. And at the end, I'll share a way how you can continue the journey if you'd like to learn and discover more once we're done the master class. But before we get all into all the good stuff, let me just really quickly let's discuss who this is for and check in with you and quickly to see where you're at. Do you have a business or job that sucks the energy out of you and you want to get out of it? Do your business has become a black hole and it's taken all the money and energy you put into it with no light whatsoever at the end of the tunnel, or maybe just a teeny little light, and you're thinking about giving up on your dreams? And again, do you feel deep down and you wonder if you're good enough, if you're worth it, if you can do it, if you're powerless or not good enough or unlovable? Do you think you can actually do it? Are you starting to doubt yourself? Do you start out every month wondering where the clients and sales are going to come from? Do you have some months where cash just pours in your business, but you can't seem to maintain it? Do you have other months where very little income you have and you get freaked out about it? Are you working way too hard maybe? Sometimes 60 or 80 or 100 hours a week with too many odd hours while burning yourself out. Still not getting the results you deserve and want. And did you waste hours and hours cold calling, networking, and with meetings that don't go anywhere? Perhaps maybe trying to develop a lot of referral partners and affiliates who actually almost never refer to you. Do you feel like that no matter what you do, your business is stuck and stagnant and it's making you question yourself? If that sounds like you, then I have good news, because none of those things are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made what I call the shifts. This game plan I'm going to give you today consists of 4 major shifts that you need to make in order to massively scale up your business. And we're going to talk about those and what they are in just a second. But once you make these shifts, and again, the real problem is really you haven't made the shifts, the secrets to success in your business. So once you follow these shifts, you're going to wake up every day jumping out of bed and walk into your business and meetings thrilled that you have more business than you can handle. You're the top person in your space. No more sleepless nights, just total fulfillment, joy, and love of what you do and your life. And you become a master at communicating and delivering massive value to your clients and getting the big results. Your clients are going to love you for it. Once you follow these shifts, you'll be able to attract the exact clients you want who are willing to pay you what you are worth and refer you once you get the results. And no more begging for referrals or endless meetings or networking with people who promise to refer and who don't. Without a shadow of doubt, you know in your heart that you are finally succeeding in this, and it's about time, is it not? And that's what happens when you follow the shifts. And lastly, the people whom you looked up to before as role models come to you and ask you for advice. I swear, it's the greatest feeling in the world when this happens. So really quickly, who I am. So I'm the founder of Unleash Your Power, where I help entrepreneurs 3x their business and serve their clients at a whole new level. And I'm also the creator of the Unleash Your Power, Unleash Your Potential Certification NLP program. I am a best-selling author of Unleash Your Power, Stand Out, Take Action, and Create the Success You Want. I'm a professional speaker, and I'm an advisor to many startup businesses and small businesses as well. Now, before we go too much further, I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a bit about myself. So I created my own internal training and international training, coaching and advisory firm for small businesses and startups. In the past 6 or 7 years, I've been involved in numerous seminars, trade shows, businesses, conferences, trainings, and certification courses. And if there's anyone who understands how to help you skyrocket your business, stop being too nice, and become highly successful doing what you love, not wasting time, making more money in less time, it's me. And this is why you should listen to me today in my 4 shifts we're about to get into. My experience working years ago in a corporate environment and then starting 2 multiple 6-figure businesses and beyond has given me a unique perspective on a couple things. 1, how the most successful entrepreneurs in the planet operate, and 2, the strategies that very successful business owners, leaders, mentors, trainers use to grow their business and that you're probably not using. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So now the 4 shifts. Let me tell you how I discovered these, by the way. So I'm a person who went from being very shy and quiet due to bullying and abuse when I was younger to a person who is very outgoing, loves people, loves doing new things, and am highly confident. Once I started doing and taking action, I had a lot of failures. A lot of things didn't work, though through a lot of long trial and error, lots of training, spending lots of money, having lots of great mentors, I became very successful. And once I succeeded, I started to help others succeed as well because it's a passion of mine and people can clearly see it. And I'm pretty great at it as well. So that's kind of how I discovered these. And as I worked with people on multiple levels in several ways, I quickly realized that some entrepreneurs are struggling no matter what they do. Others are ultra successful and some are successful kind of middle of the road, but they're stuck. They're at a glass ceiling. And at the same time, I realized that the top entrepreneurs are taking advantage of a certain mindset, strategies, and a way of being, as well as technology, in a way that's causing everyone else to get left behind, frankly. So I discovered what these 4 things were, these 4 key shifts, these secrets, if you will, and then I started working with clients to implement those 4 things in their business, and immediately their results went through the roof. That led me to working more and more with entrepreneurs, startups, or even entrepreneurs who are doing well and just have hit a glass ceiling. And so, of course, many of them have doubled and tripled and more their business, often while working less or working only on what they want and only on what they enjoy. So today we're going to pull back the curtain and show you what these top entrepreneurs are doing in terms of how they're running their business, selling, delivering, leading, coaching, and mentoring. And if you make these 4 shifts, there's no limit to how fast and how far you can go and you can grow your business. But if you don't make these 4 shifts, you're going to sit there and your competitors are going to make them, and it's going to look like you're at a standstill. So let's, without further ado, go through these shifts. Number 1, and now the really good stuff. Let's just jump into this. So shift number 1 is demolish the force field. Until you understand this, it's impossible to stand out from the crowd and have people really see your value. And once you do, your client base is going to grow exponentially. So there's a force field that's stopping people from succeeding, and that force field is debilitating. I'm talking about worry, fear, and anxiety. No matter what people do, it creeps into everything they do. Most people think they can use their willpower to overcome it and push through it, but they cannot. It's like filling a bucket that's got a hole in it. So much work, yet so little reward, or it takes so long. It reminds me of that song, Dear Johnny, There's a Hole in My Bucket. I'm going to spare you and not sing it, but really, that's what we're talking about. The reality is if you don't push through and break this force field and demolish it, really, dismantle and demolish the force field, you're guaranteed to fail. If you know how to break through this force field, then you are in charge of your life. Your chances of succeeding goes through the roof. So, to demolish the force field, you need to immediately shift your mindset. You need to shift the fearful feelings, the negative thinking, and the fearful visualizations you see in your mind. And I'm going to teach you a trick in just a moment. But before we get there, you really need to shift this. You need to eliminate the negative focus and stop making up what probably won't happen anyways. The monkey mind or the gremlins inside your head is saying all this nasty stuff to you. You got to ignore them. And you need to focus on your goal and keep your eye on the prize and really, truly believe that it will happen for you. What you focus on is what you will receive. And note this. Really, let me repeat this again. What you focus on is what you will receive. No matter how much positive thinking you have, no matter how many vision boards you have, signs, positive signs, apps, positive affirmation apps, even if you take action, if that fear, worry, anxiety creeps in and is the majority, even half or even a quarter of your thoughts, it's going to cancel out all the good things you are doing for a whole myriad of reasons. And this is why the things you want are not coming to you enough or fast enough, or maybe not at all. Trust me, I'm literally living proof of this. I was the biggest worrywart in the world, and worry will kill your dreams. Worry did kill my dreams until I realized this and shifted. I repeat, worry will kill your dreams. No matter how much positive thinking you do, no matter how much action you take, training, personal development, no matter how much you do, it will kill your dreams. On another way, I've heard this said before, doubt kills the warrior. So one simple way to build this into your neurology rather quickly is to make it harder to focus on the worry. Enter the hair tie or elastic trick. And you can put a hair tie or elastic around your wrist, and anytime you start worrying, fearing, etc., just snap the elastic or snap the hair tie on the inside of your wrist. Or if you don't have a hair tie or elastic, or you forgot it, just use one hand to slap the soft inside part of the other wrist on the other hand. And it stings. And what it does, it sends a strong signal to our body and our mind and our brain that it's painful to worry or fear or have anxiety. And our brain loves to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And this gets you immediately refocused. And what I want you to do is when you snap or slap your wrist or snap that elastic, immediately focus on your goal, focus on your achievements, focus on what you want and what you need to do. So snap it. It's almost like a pattern interrupt. And then change your mindset, change your vision, get rid of the worry, and focus on what you want. Focus on your goals, dreams, focus on your outcomes. And that will make it more pleasurable to seek pleasure and more painful to worry. So you'll find over time really that you'll have to snap the elastic less and less, and your brain will focus on positive more and the worry less. Think of this. Mahatma Gandhi, who helped free India from the British rule, was successful because he was able to manage his force field of worry, fear, anxiety, and just do what was important and say what was important. He was so focused on his mission that he didn't have time to pay attention to his fears and worries. And if it did creep in, he would immediately go back to focusing on what he wanted to achieve. I'll tell you a story about Jennifer. When she came to me, she was feeling like a failure. She was doubting that she could ever be a successful entrepreneur long term. She was even questioning herself and her own value and capabilities. She was struggling, frustrated. She was burnt out, working so hard and not getting far. Jennifer was always worrying. Always worrying. A voice in her head was always saying it wouldn't work. That's not going to work out. They're not going to like you. They're not going to buy from you. You can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not worth it. All that stuff. And she was trapped under this force field of worry and fear that it wouldn't work. And this was preventing her success no matter how much she worked, how hard she worked, no matter what she was doing, all the personal development, all the courses. And once she finished working with me, she also learned the hair tie elastic trick as well, actually. And she was able to demolish this force field that she had around her. She was able to do what she needed to do and triple her income and now beyond. And this created, of course, an incredibly fulfilling and happy career for her. So the bottom line, in summary here for this shift, keep that force field in check. Keep that force field that keeps out all the good in your life. That worry, fear, anxiety force field that, again, keeps all the good stuff at bay and keeps all that out of your life. Make sure you keep that in check and be in charge of your life and your results versus being controlled by your fears, beliefs, emotions, your life, and your mind. You know how to do this now. Here's a couple other tips. Put signs up for yourself at home, in your office, in your car, etc., that remind you not to worry and remind you to focus on what you want instead. And for goodness sakes, stop listening to or hanging out with people who just talk about the negative all the time, fears, doomsdayers, all the negativity, all the, oh, worst comes to worst type talk. And hang out only with the people who you want to hang out with and you want to be like. You need to create strong boundaries with these other people, the water cooler negative talk, or cut them out of your life entirely. So, that's another webinar, really. So, next time. Now, next shift. Next shift is to awaken your superpower. So after the force field is taken down, we may think that everything will be easy after that. And this is actually not true, because you need to make another shift. There's one more shift that will bring you one more step further. And this is because the moment the force field is demolished, the unresolved baggage or issues from the past start creeping up, start hounding you, bubbling up, and holding you back. It's like a stranglehold sabotaging your success. It's like an anchor holding back your success ship. And I know this is totally counterintuitive, but that's the truth. And the good news is that with shift number 2, we're going to help you overcome it. It's kind of like when you're out with a new date and your ex keeps calling, right? You've made some shifts, you've taken down the force field barrier of fear and worry, yet this past stuff, past crap, all the past stuff or baggage in our life comes back. And literally, it's like you're out on a new date and your ex keeps calling. And if you don't know how to overcome the past and let it all go and awaken your superpower, you will rebuild that force field around you. That big anchor will hold you back and slow you down from achieving your dreams. If you know how to overcome your past, then you will be able to awaken your superpower. Also, remember that through body language and other mechanisms, other people will unconsciously know what's going on in your head. This is why we need to clean up the past, let go, and awaken your superpower. And by the way, this will also turn some of the biggest negatives and negative experiences into your life into some of your biggest strengths and superpowers. Otherwise, that big anchor will hold you down and slow you back from achieving your dreams. So let's get rid of that, shall we? Here's a strategy to help you shift. If there's a negative event, self-doubt, trauma, negative experience, or just limiting beliefs about yourself. And this is one of the biggest things we work on in my programs, and I give you many powerful tools and transformations for it. So for now, here's a strategy to help you shift. If there's a negative event, self-doubt, trauma, negative experience, or even just limiting beliefs about yourself, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I could never do that, I'm not smart enough, whatever. This often goes back to a past experience where someone said something to us. For example, you can't, you're not good enough, you can't do that. Maybe even just the word no. You heard no all the time. You can't afford it, you're not capable enough, not strong enough, not smart enough, whatever. Or it goes back to where many years ago when you were a child often, someone did something to you or said something to you and we made it mean something else, like that we were not good enough or not worth it or not powerful or something. For example, in an effort to protect me, my father would tell me no a lot of the time when I was younger, or at least as a child, I thought he did anyways. And that got stuck in my brain during those precious younger years. And for much of my life, I expected no's from people. No's to promotions, raises, dates even, sales, friends, opportunities. Now, of course, as a kid, I didn't realize he was doing it to protect me when I was a kid. Yet I made it mean something else, that I couldn't have what I wanted. And thank goodness that is gone. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness that is gone. And only as an adult do we see what really happened, if we even do the work and take the time to look at what limits us. That's what this is so critical. The impact, the scar, and the limitations are still there haunting us as adults. I will guarantee we all have things inside us that limit us. And did lots of people tell you no? Do lots of people right now tell you no, or that you can't? Or did they? Or insert your limiting belief in here. I can't because, I'm not good enough because, it won't work because. The crap you say to yourself in your head, something for you to do some big work on. So, before we get to some research, here's how. To back up a second. For all your limitations, limiting beliefs, not enough, I'm not strong enough, do these steps. Step 1, set yourself a great goal, very specific of what you want to achieve. Number 2, stop running yourself down and telling yourself you can't. Whether you think you can or you think you cannot, you are correct. Stop thinking of all the reasons why you cannot achieve something and instead think about and write down as many as possible and post this somewhere where you see it. All the reasons you can, all the reasons you are good enough, all the reasons you can achieve this, because you can. Can you not? and post that somewhere you can see it, all the reasons you're amazing, all the reasons you can. Trace these limitations, limiting beliefs, whatever it is, negativity, I can'ts, back to your childhood. That's where they began, even if life augmented them or reinforced them. Talk to your inner child as an adult. Coach your inner child. Literally, this works so well. Coach your inner child. Talk to them really on why they can do it, how they simply misunderstood this past situation where they decided that whatever, they weren't enough, they couldn't do it, they weren't strong enough. And maybe how the person who told them they can't really didn't know what the heck they were talking about. And this person was probably dealing with their own crap anyways, so they had to put others down and put you down to feel better about themselves. Step 5. Change the mental image you have about yourself by describing and thinking about and visualizing you being your best self. If anything was possible, because it is. And write down that description of your best self. And lastly, number 6, do your best to be that person every day. Be that person, that visualization of your best self every day, realizing that no one is perfect and failure is only learning and feedback. So never, 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 ever give up. It's actually a test from life to make sure you are 100% committed to your goal. That's why things can be challenging sometimes. So, interesting research by experts in this field have shown that only 5% of people have become really successful. Isn't that crazy? 5%, that is it. It's because so many people let things hold them back and they give up usually just before they're about to be really successful. Well, since working with me, Richard has become a supercharged version of himself because he's awakened his superpower. He has let go of his past, of his limitations, his baggage, and negative experiences to become the powerful person he has always wanted to be. He has learned that he needed to awaken his superpower to be strong, to hold boundaries, to stand up for himself, and he realized that he needed this to speak up, to fulfill his purpose, his mission in life, and to help others. He also realized that other people could hear what was going on in his head, and it's so true. All the negative self-talk, all the crap. So even though he had a great game in business, seemed great and confident on the surface and had great conversations, he wasn't getting what he wanted. People weren't actually doing business with him because, again, unconsciously and through body language, people can tell what's going on in your head. All the crap, all the worry, you thinking, oh, I got to pick up the milk or pick up the kids, or I got to do this, or I have to do this right after this, or I have to go here after this meeting. People know that's going on in your head, and that will kill any type of relationship or any type of sale or purchase or anything. So be very, very aware of that. So again, after this, he got what he wanted. He made massive, massive increases to his business, to referrals, to his income, and people wanting to do business with him. It was really, really cool. The bottom line to this, in summary, is if you do this, your life is going to change. You're going to get what you want, and things are going to come into your life, materialize automatically, and it's incredible to see and experience. I love watching this happen to my clients. And you must keep going, including by executing the next shift, number 3. So things are going to come into your life and materialize automatically, like I said, when you do this shift. And you must keep going. This is so important. Keep going no matter what in your life, and keep going, including executing the next shift, which is reclaim your victorious self. Okay, so what's this about? If you do not change your thinking and your strategies, you are doomed to repeat the same mistakes and stay stuck. So once you dismantle the force field, you may think that you will feel totally peaceful. And once you create everything you want, you think you might feel totally peaceful. Often you'll feel totally confused. It's because this is what you've been doing and who you have been for years. It's who you've identified with as you for years. Many people have identified with this past broken, weak, powerless, not good enough, not lovable, not worthy, not strong enough, whatever, or otherwise limited person. I can't, etc., etc. And this has to go. You need to reclaim your victorious self because we weren't born broken. We were born perfect. Life beats us down. So here's a bit of a funny slide for you. Winning is the most important thing in my life. After breathing. Breathing first, winning next. I don't totally agree with that. This is by a quote by George Steinbrenner. I don't totally agree with that, but winning in your life, being successful, winning in your entire life, I think is what he's getting at. Your relationships, your career, your health, your wealth, your fulfillment, everything. Winning in every part of your life is so important. And this is absolutely critical. If you don't continue on and make this third shift, you will fall back into the old ways of, and face confusion. In the face of confusion, really, you're going to fall back into the old ways. Once, even if you make the first two shifts, that's why the third shift is critical. You need to continue on. And if you ever heard, you ever heard the saying, the devil you know is better than, or less scary than the devil you don't know? It's like a path in the grass or the woods. Our mind likes to take the path of least resistance, right? So until you wear down a different path into the grass or into the woods, figuratively speaking, it's easier for you to slip back and just take the old path, or slip back in the face of confusion until you find out who you really are. In fact, who you really were all along. It's just that life messed that up. Life beat you down. People beat you down because their own stuff is going on. And you lost who you really were. You're being inauthentic, being someone else, whether it's to look, you're being too nice, whether it's to look good, whether it's to be liked, whether it's to try to have people do business with you, and that actually doesn't work. So what's at stake is your life, your success, your fulfillment and happiness. No wonder so many people use food, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, gambling, sex, you name it, anything I missed, to numb the pain or fill the void of their life of not being their real selves, their victorious self. Only when you reclaim that your victorious self can you be successful and truly, truly happy. Again, often the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Even though things can be better, people often like comfort, right? So that confusion, though, during this time can be one of the most exciting places you can be in, right? That confusion can be converted into a very powerful thing. Essentially, you'll be ready to reclaim your victorious identity, right? You need to embrace your hero's journey. After all, life's a journey, not a destination. I remember my black belt Hapkido martial arts instructor told me that years ago. And success is inevitable. That's the great news. Your success is inevitable if you do the work you need to do, work on yourself, as well as take action, which we're going to talk about in the next shift. And many people have identified with a past or broken version of themselves, really, to be honest. And that's a problem because that sticks, that stays. I mean, think about it. That's stopping people from growing their business and stopping you from growing your business too. What is your identity of your business? If you're bringing any of the I'm not good enough, I can't, whatever, into your business, do you think it's going to be successful? Of course not, right? So even if someone has a disease or is disabled, often it's an identity for them. It's like a fact. It's a fact of identity for them versus just, I have this condition, I have this. It often becomes an identity, and we often pull those identities into our business, the whole I can't or I'm not good enough. And we don't even realize we're doing this. It's all unconscious, which is a big problem. Now, being aware of this is huge because knowing is half the battle, right? So what do you need to do? You need to step into the truly limitless person you want to be. That you need to be in order to achieve what you want in your business. Do you do something that makes yourself uncomfortable or scares you maybe even every day? I would highly recommend this. Do something that makes you scared or uncomfortable every single day and pushes you. Plus, you'll get used to being a little uncomfortable each day so that you'll be able to do things that make you more and more uncomfortable each day. And usually these are the bigger, more important things we need to do to make us successful. The stuff that has us hiding in our office behind the computers, that's not scary, right? Those things aren't scary. So do things that make you uncomfortable at the very least every single day. I promise you it will change your life. And avoid judging yourself. This is a obviously critical part of reclaiming your victorious self, right? So avoid judging, just move forward. And working on ourselves is huge, right? We're truly our own biggest obstacle and biggest resource. Who is the only person that can make you angry, sad, happy? Yes, of course, it's you, right? So who is the only person that can actually decide that you can or that you cannot do something? Yes, it's you. No one was broken or a mistake. Whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever it is, nature, it doesn't make mistakes, right? There is a leopard with too many spots a mistake? Of course not. So you were born magnificent, right? It's this world, society, and other people with their own crap that beat us down over their lifetimes. And now it's time to decide and be who you really are, who you actually are. And just watch your life change with this one. By the way, the most successful people in the world are decisive, take action, take calculated risks, and don't wait for something to be perfect. Or they don't wait to be ready. They do it now. They take action now. There's no perfect time. There's no right time. It doesn't exist. No right time exists. No perfect time exists. So realize that it's far better to lead than to follow. Realize it's far better to lead than to follow, even if you're only leading yourself at first. Plus, you're going to inspire others along the way. And imagine how fulfilling is this? March to the beat of your own drum, lead yourself, inspire yourself, and I guarantee you, you will inspire and lead others as well. And then just watch your success skyrocket. So right now, decide who you want to be, how you want to act. Who is the new you? Who are you being when you are being your best self? Visualize who that amazing person is and either speak and describe it when you're doing it and record those traits on your cell phone, or write them down afterwards and post it somewhere where you'll see it every day. So make yourself a little note right now, either to record that while you visualize after this masterclass on your cell phone, or write it down and post it somewhere. That way you see it every day. Who is this best person? Who is my best self? Is this the way my best self would be? Is this the way my best self would behave? Is this the action my best self would take? It's a fantastic tool. Okay, so what about being too nice? Even too nice with yourself. And call out your own BS. Call out when you're not being powerful, when you're not doing what you need to do to be successful in your business. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying it's not nice to be nice. Pardon me. I'm not saying not to be nice. I'm not saying not to be caring, friendly, charismatic person. Let me make that clear. You need to be, obviously. Very charismatic, very, very caring. The problem is, though, your failing self feels that you need to be too nice because it thinks that you will get liked and be liked, and that will make you feel like you're good enough, you're lovable, powerful, you're worth it. That's why we act like we're too nice. We want people to like us, right? And we don't want to ruffle feathers, right? And we were told probably for years that we should be nice and not ruffle feathers and don't speak up and all these things, all these trash people tell us. Don't rock the boat, things like that. But you know what happens? The exact opposite things happens. If you're too nice and if you're trying so hard to be likable or to impress people, the exact opposite happens. Either people will take advantage of you, they'll step on your toes, they'll run all over you, they'll use you, they'll walk all over you and your business. Your clients, coworkers, friends, family will take advantage of you. Even people you don't know will take advantage of you. And many of us have this identity of being the nice guy or nice girl, and being too nice is fatal. It doesn't work, right? Often we want to be as far away from people as possible that we don't like or that were mean to us. So often we're being too nice, not speaking up, not saying what we need to say, not holding our boundaries, and it's affecting us. It's terrible. You need to reclaim your powerful, victorious self and stand up for yourself. Just speak out and speak up and say what it is you want to say without analyzing it at all. And this is the way to be liked and get what you want. I mean, worst to worst, you can apologize afterwards if you really, really need to. Plus, there'll always be people in your life who don't like you, right? So why aren't you speaking up and being victorious? Here's a secret trick for you about speaking up and standing up for what you want. Because most of us want to be the opposite to those who have hurt us in the past or people we don't like or hate, which makes sense, right? So we often shut down or reject the most powerful part of ourselves. I can almost guarantee you that you're doing this to some degree. Because instead of just making sure we don't embody those 1 or 2 or 3 traits of people we hate or who have hurt us, we often reject anything to do with their personality at all. We don't want to be like them at all. And this is often hugely detrimental, as they often have traits that can make you successful and that will make you successful. Again, not everyone's got 100% negative traits and negative aspects to them or negative behaviors. Maybe confidence, for example. Maybe they speak up and speak out and they're confident, but maybe they're doing it in the wrong way. So you may be rejecting the way they're being confident, or you may be rejecting being confident and speaking up, speaking out in general. Again, one example, right? Even though they're doing it in the wrong way, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be confident. Speak out, speak up, defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and speak your mind. And you need to stand up for what you want and what you believe in and just say whatever comes to mind without worrying if it'll offend someone. I'll say that again. You need to just speak up and say whatever comes to mind without worrying if it'll offend someone. You're a good person. You're not intentionally trying to hurt anyone, so avoid worrying. If you're someone who's too nice or who can be too nice, you're likely not going to offend anyone. And always, we may ruffle some feathers once in a while. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen when you're being powerful, and that's okay. If you're just saying what you want, not worrying about what people will think of you, and doing it in a caring way. If you're a man, you may be afraid of seeming like a jerk or an ass. If you're a woman, you may be afraid of seeming bitchy. And this is what held me back. I was being too nice, and I thought if I said anything, disagreed with someone, defended myself, spoke out, stood up for myself, disagreed with someone, that I would be an ass or a jerk or whatever, right? And trust me, I promise you, you're not actually being a jerk or a bitch. You just think you are because you've been too nice for years and years and years, maybe your whole life, right? Instead, you're actually just being real. You're just being authentic by speaking up and sharing what you want to speak in your mind. Because It's going to make you angry if you don't, and there's going to be animosity and passive aggression anyways. You might as well speak it up and get it resolved now. One security check you can do, again, when you're being real and authentic, is tell a good friend, a trusted advisor, mentor, coach, boss, whoever. Tell them what you're doing and that you're on a mission to be empowered and be an empowered person. So you have a security check as to make sure you're not really actually being a jerk or a bitch. And I can promise you this will almost never happen. And you have a security check person who can say, you know what, maybe you should ratchet it down a little bit, or maybe that was a little jerky, or that was a little bitchy. Again, the chance of it happening is very, very rare. The point is just to have a security check. That way you don't have to worry. Just say what you mean, say what you want to mean. Be a caring person, absolutely. Say what you mean, be powerful. You're inevitably going to ruffle a few feathers. However, it's also going to get you what you want. Remember, as an entrepreneur, you're not selling stuff. You're selling an incredible experience, and care enough to give them that gift, correct your clients and correct people when they're wrong, have the tough talk with them, say what you need to say, and avoid worrying, and care enough to not to be too nice so you can serve them and give them the experience they need. Being too nice does not get you clients. We're worried about angering people or pissing them off maybe, but honestly, they're not going to become a client anyway, so you might as well be your powerful self. Rollo May, a distinguished and well-published psychiatrist, said, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it's conformity. So avoid conforming. Be you. March to the beat of your own drum. Let me tell you a quick story about Candace, actually. So she came to me a long time ago because she said, she had become someone she wasn't, and it was really affecting her business. People could see she wasn't being real or authentic, and it cost her a lot of business and a lot of money. And I helped her discover who that was, and it created a profound shift in her. For some reason, she stopped being powerful and standing up for what she wanted. She learned that while she spoke up for herself and when she spoke up for herself, she said what she needed to say and did what she needed to say. And she learned that things happened for her. She held her boundaries. She got what she wanted in life. She got the clients. Her business succeeded incredibly, incredibly well. And she was incredibly fulfilled because she could be her and be real. So in summary, you need and must work on this new person you want to be and decide who you want to be and also figure out who you really are. You must change your thinking and your strategies. Next shift, and the last one, last but not least, execute with power and intelligence. So power is dangerous without intelligence. Intelligence is useless without power, and not executing, of course, inaction on either of these, having no power or no intelligence, creates nothing. Or worse, you keep falling behind, right? So you ever heard that song, I've got the power? Remember that song by Snap? Anyways, I can't do it as well as her, but I digress. So this is so important. If you have lots of energy and power and drive, but no direction, no intelligence interaction, you're simply going to be busy being busy. I'll say it again. You're simply going to be busy being busy and actually get nothing useful done. You'll be busy, maybe even burnt out, and since the things you want won't happen to you the way you want them to, you'll be extremely frustrated as well. So massive intelligence and great planning without putting energy and action behind it is useless, absolutely useless. You ever heard this saying, the richest place in the world is the graveyard? So many people take so many great books, great ideas, great plans to the graveyard with them. And there was a survey done a number of years ago in a lot of the geriatric care homes and old age homes when people were on their deathbed. You know what people said? They didn't regret losing time, losing money, losing energy, failing, not doing something not working out, trying something new. They had no regrets about that, even if it lost money or time or energy. What they actually did regret was not doing what they wanted and not doing what filled them up, not living their dreams, following their passions and their purpose, right? So this happens. You get busy, burnt out, and things won't happen the way you want them to. You get extremely frustrated. It sucks. And again, having no plan but all action, drive, energy, and doing stuff is like a Formula One race car with 800 horsepower. I mean, how far does a race car go on a track? How far does it actually go? Nowhere. It goes nowhere, even though it expends a huge amount of energy, right? And not executing or taking action, even though you have a great plan and you know your destination, it's like a wild horse tied up to a post when all it wants to do is run free. And there's a saying, actually, a good plan executed today is better than a great plan executed tomorrow. And most of us put off the action taking or execution part of what we want. Some of us know and realize why. Some of us don't even realize why we're not taking action, why we're procrastinating, or why we're quote unquote lazy, right? Some have reasons, some have excuses. And just going to be real with you here at all. No judgment. All these reasons are excuses. We either have results or you have reasons. If you don't have results, then there's reasons. You have reasons or excuses, right? So anyways, some of us have reasons why we can't do something, right? And you either have reasons or results, right? And sometimes we hold on to these reasons for so long, almost it's like an identity. And it protects us, right? It keeps us safe from doing scary things. It prevents us from failing. It also prevents us from learning. Or people may say, I'm fine, or everything's okay, or oh, I'm good, or some permutation of that, right? So the fears, the reasons we have excuses or quote unquote reasons or BS is it's fear, right? When it's something actually we really, really want, we don't do it, we really want it. You've seen people like this all the time. They really want something, they really want to grow their business, but they're not doing it. And they say, oh, I procrastinate or I'm lazy or something. It's fear. It's fear. It's anxiety. These excuses are protecting us from getting hurt, feeling sadness, anger, hurt, pain, or we fear taking action. We fear, and this reinforces the fact that we can't do it or they're not good enough or not smart enough, right? So I want to teach you a really powerful trick. By the way, hashtag. I want to teach you a powerful trick in a second, but here is something first, actually. You can do so many things, trial and error, over and over and over again, failing and failing and failing, and take a long, long time to do it. So hashtag don't do this at home. Hashtag don't do it alone. One of the key points of intelligent action is to model who has already done this and who is already successful at this. And you need a mentor. While looking for a mentor, here's actually a couple tips I give people. And there's 5 things you need, in fact, to keep in mind when you make sure you are looking for a mentor that'll make you super successful. Number 1, make sure they resonate with you and that you connect with them. The most qualified mentor in the world won't work for you if there's no connection. So, number 2, get the commitment and their commitment to hold you accountable and give you homework each meeting. The commitment and accountability and homework is critical to your success, and you absolutely need this. Number 3, find someone caring and compassionate who has the personal power and the guts and cares enough to really push you to where you want, but who's also compassionate and empathetic to your situation. Number 4, make sure they have evidence of past successes like testimonials and great Google reviews. Number 5, make sure their name is James. Just kidding. Seriously though, make sure they have powerful tools and techniques to help motivate you, techniques and tools to manage your fears and any anxiety, any stuff that comes up. I love giving people tools and techniques. That way they take them with them into their lives and they're successful permanently, right? That's the big thing. Make sure someone will also teach you, not simply just coach you, teach you, train you to be successful long-term and self-sufficient long-term as well. That way you can manage your fears, manage anxiety, manage stuff that comes up and shift your mindset to make you a superstar. Okay, here's the secret trick. If something comes up, ask yourself, why do I want this? Why am I doing this? Is this going to get me closer or further to my big goal? No matter how scary it is, or how excited or emotional you are. If it's going to get you further from your goal, do not do it. No matter how worried you are, if it's going to get you closer to your goal, just go do it. By the way, check out my YouTube blog as well for some more mindset hacks and for fear and anxiety, different fear and anxiety hacks. If you go to YouTube and search for James R. Elliott, Unleash Your Power, you'll find the YouTube channel. So really quickly, here's a quote for you actually. There's nothing quite so useless as doing with great efficiency something that should not be done at all. This is a quote by Peter Drucker. Here's a quick story about Daniel. So he loved to be stuck in the lab, as he put it, thinking about things, researching, making plans, ideas. He was wonderful at it, but he hadn't achieved anything significant in his life because he's always stuck in the lab, researching and thinking. He was depressed, he was anxious, he was frustrated, his business wasn't moving forward, his business wasn't growing, he was stuck at a glass ceiling, and things hadn't turned out the way he wanted it to. And of course, he was so afraid of not knowing every step he needed to take and exactly how to do it. And he also needed a mentor. Of course, everyone needs a mentor for clarity, guidance, accountability, and to see the things you do not. And really to hold up the mirror to you, to show you the way, what to do when you're overwhelmed, right? And so the bottom line here is, are you worried that you self-express too much? You hold yourself, maybe where you hold boundaries enough or not holding boundaries, and that you become one of the people you hate if you do that? Avoid worrying. Avoid worrying about this. Just be yourself. Just be yourself and hold your boundaries. There's very good people on either side of the equation, and it's, you need to self-express. You need to be that powerful version of you, even if there's people you don't like that are powerful and confident. You need to be, there's traits you need to really take on that are like them. So be expressive, be assertive, assert yourself. Again, the worst thing that happens is you need to apologize. So in summary, today I promised the step-by-step game plan my clients are using to skyrocket their businesses, to take what they do to an entirely different level, and to triple their income in 6 months. How they're doing this? Without cold calling or networking 8 hours a day, begging for referrals, or trying to get lots of referral partners the wrong way, and then all the other stuff people tell you that you need to do. And how to serve all your clients in less hours a week than you expected, because you take all these shifts in account. This is going to happen, right? What you need to win. Dare, D-A-R-E, dare to be great. D, demolish the force field. A, awaken your superpower. R, number 3, reclaim your victorious self. Number 4, E, execute with power and intelligence. And now you have a choice. You can forget about all the stuff I taught you today and go back to what you were doing, and even worse, waste more money and more time. Or you can dismantle the force field, awaken your superpower, reclaim your victorious self, execute with power and intelligence, speak up, stand out, command respect and attention, and have people see you as highly, highly valuable, so they want to do business with you, so they flock to you in your business, so they refer you, and they become raving fans, really. So how I can help? My team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen it and we know how to overcome it. And what we'll do is we'll get on the phone for a strategy session. And during this strategy and clarity session, what we're going to do, we're going to work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit your business and income goals for this year while having more time freedom and more days off. How does that sound? And the cost is absolutely free, of course. Now, quick thing. This isn't for everyone. It's not for you if you're a dabbler or if you're indecisive. It's not for you if you want results with no effort. If you want a get-rich-quick scheme, it's not for you. This is for permanent, long-term, lasting success. And this is not for you if you're not committed to achieving goals and dreams. But who this is for entrepreneurs who are committed. This is for professionals who are tied to their job and want to start a very successful business. And this is for people if you want to serve others on a whole new level, make dramatically more money through this service, serve many, many, many more people, make a huge impact in the world. This is for you. Definitely for you. Why am I doing this? People ask, why do I do this? I do this because I love giving back. I love hosting these master classes, and I love helping business owners achieve their goals. Plus, I know that you may want my help to transform your business. And if so, we can discuss it on the free strategy and clarity call and see if it's a good fit for you and for both of us, in fact. And if not, then that's cool as well. That's cool too. So book a free Skyrocket Your Business Strategy and Clarity session at www.unleashyourpower/book-a-call. If you have questions, you can also feel free to email me at james@unleashyourpower.com. And that is it. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a fantastic day. Take care.